CBS 46 News presents Public Affairs on Peach.
Good morning and welcome to Public Affairs on Peach. I'm Karen Greer. Do you know your consumer rights? Well, we're going to talk to a man who founded an educational group that can help you with that information. But today's big focus today is on the gift of life, organ donation. And Brianna Brooks and her fiance, you may remember this story, were kidnapped from their Decatur home, later found murdered in 2014. Brianna was 7 months pregnant at the time, and miraculously, her baby girl survived. When Brianna got her driver's permit, she registered as an organ donor, and her mother, Sadria Strong, joins us today with that story and how she actually lives on in others. Sadria, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And you say Brianna was always very giving. Talk a little bit about your daughter.
Very bubbly since birth. Age 5, when we moved here, she was excited to meet Dr. Renette Flowers. And at that moment, she decided, I want to be a pediatrician. And so she's never changed her mind about it. She went to a magnet program in South Cobb High School, graduated at Carver High School, the School of Health and Science, ready to pursue her dream to be a pediatrician, delayed because she had a baby, and but she still wanted to do it. So just giving. Ever since a little girl, just love helping others.
Obviously very giving. When she got her driver's permit, she knew then she wanted to be an organ donor.
Absolutely. She called me and said, I got my permit and I registered as an organ donor. And I said, great. She says, just major organs. I said, okay.
What was it like once you were there with her at the hospital?
It was heart-wrenching to see your child lying in a bed, just lifeless, you know, on a ventilator, and just seeing the bruises on her arms. And I just kissed her. I kissed her arms, her hands, and just told her I was here. I said, your mommy's here. You know, I'm not going to leave you. And I let her know her babies were safe. So I just needed her to take care and rest, and, you know, I would take care of the babies for now.
And you are doing that? That granddaughter now 5 years old?
She'll be 5 in August the 30th. It's bittersweet. It's the anniversary of her father's death, but also, yeah, that's good.
She's a doll.
Yes, that's my baby.
Yeah, that's got to be tough. And you wanted to know who got your daughter's organs, which I think is
actually amazing. LifeLink, they send the donor families letters, just general letters about how many organs were, you know, transplanted, the age, if it's a male or female, and just a few hobbies of those individuals. So I received that letter about a month after Brianna's transplant, you know, giving the organs. And so I was like, this is amazing to see that 4 people were saved and didn't have to go through what we went through, but now their families get a chance to create memories with their loved one.
Cardiovascular nurse received her heart.
Yes. That was just, I had went 2 years without hearing anything. Yes, that's Amber.
Wow.
And I was just so happy to know that.
All the way in Ohio?
All the way in Ohio.
Wow.
Yes. And she's so grateful about it. She shares Brianna's story with her patients and as well as herself. And so, you know, people know Brianna's story all the way in Ohio and beyond.
Brianna wanted to be a doctor, so that is so fitting.
Yes, it is.
And for her liver, you know who received that as well.
Yes, Grady set it up for me to meet Andrew. He lives in Albany, Georgia.
That's right, get that right.
I get it right. And so that's Uncle Andrew. The girls got a chance to meet him last year at the Donate Life Month celebration, and we're family. All of these recipients are my family now.
You said, we talked about this, you know she lives on in all of these
Yes.
people and others. This was so important for you all to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When LifeLink, when the hospital said, you know, we ran a brain test, she was brain dead, but there's an opportunity for her to save lives. When they said that, we said yes. Not knowing what, you know, I just said yes. You know, I said, what is it? And so they said, you know, do you know anything about organ donation? I said, absolutely. Brianna's a registered donor. So we were so glad to get things done. She had to be moved to Emory, and she was the only donor that day. So they flew a flag in her honor at Emory, and the next day they mailed it to us. And so that flag is hanging over our mantle year-round. So we honor Mommy every single day. Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. And people wondering what happened to the men responsible for this crime.
Last year in September, they both accepted a plea deal for, they received 3 life sentences plus 65 years with no parole. So they will never, ever see the outside of a prison. I know my grandchildren, especially my grandson, was very concerned about the bad guys getting out of jail.
And they didn't know them at all?
They did not know either of them. It had nothing to do with them. It was just a last-minute thinking. They just grabbed them at the last minute. That was never intended to be a kidnapping, but that's what happened.
What would you say to people out there who've thought about organ donation?
Don't think about it, do it. Register, you know, give the gift of life, because you have the opportunity to impact 8 lives plus 75 through tissue donation. So I know my son's a tissue recipient as of last year in November. He had a burn accident, he received 2nd-degree burns. So a family said yes to donation, and because they said yes, my son was able to heal his scars from his burns, and so I'm grateful to that family. And so we're on both sides of the coin of organ donation, and so just register.
You've learned so much about this, haven't you?
I have. I get educated every time.
Oh.
Every year I learn more and more, and I wish I'd given more of Brianna, now that I know more
Wow.
about it, yes.
Well, we so appreciate you, Sadria. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And we are just getting started on this edition of Public Affairs on Peach. When we come back, we're going to introduce you to 2 individuals whose lives were forever changed after they received the gift of life. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.